I'm Marika.
And I'm Miles.
And this is I Don't Know What I'm Doing.
Because we don't. You guys, we fucking don't. Play the jingle. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
We're back. It's Saturday night.
Ooh.
Rika's wearing I can't read the band name.
It says California, whatever, and then it has California
Did you know that the state of California went on tour in its own state? That's what your shirt's telling me.
Yeah, basically.
So we do fails of the week every week, and I'm still trying to think of mine. So Marika.
Okay.
We don't know if it's a fail yet, but I feel like it's she started telling me the story and it's veering. It's veering.
You're having a hard time, guys, coming up with a fail that's actually entertaining, and not the same old shit. So there's this new guy in one of my jobs. Okay, he's young. I think he's cute, and our boss found out that it's his birthday and he kind of tried to hide it. So she told God, I'm trying to disguise that it's from my 9-to-5 job. It's okay, whatever. Okay, so basically, this new guy at work, and he's trying to hide that it's his birthday, on Saturday, and our director finds out, and she's does reply all emails, shouting his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate reply alls. It's fucking stupid. Okay, especially ours, because they're just goody and clean and ugh, whatever. So I am him hey, happy birthday, and he's thank you, and I'm you're really killing it, and he's oh, I'm trying, yeah, and let me know you have any questions, yada yada yada. So I asked him what are you gonna do for your birthday, and he says oh, my mom and my girlfriend are gonna cook me dinner tonight, and I'm gonna spend time with family, so nothing too big. And then in my mind I'm I want to corrupt you. Because he's young, and he wears these nerdy glasses, and
what does corrupt mean?
He's wholesome, and I want to make him bad.
Like drugs?
No! Oh. Sexual stuff.
Oh, okay.
Not even too sexual, just be oh, I dropped this pen over here. Oops. And I pick the Ben and snap in front of him or something like that.
He's Eve, and you're the snake, and you're eat this apple.
Exactly. Yeah. Yup. So I tell I guess he's basically my work husband.
Yeah.
And they're oh, I want to corrupt him, and he's oh, you should wear that dress, and I'm wait, what dress are you talking about? And he's the ones formal, has sleeves, and it has stripes on it, and I'm oh, that dress, and I'm wait, do people talk about this dress? And he's phone, which means he's gonna text me his response.
Mm-hmm.
And he's you look sexy AF in that dress. People have noticed.
Okay, how many people at your jobs are thirsty for you? Because seemingly it's 12.
It's not 12. If it was 12, I would be in a relationship. It's not 12.
Right.
Okay. Also, my work husband is married in real life. In Ariel, okay?
Right.
Miles, you think it's inappropriate for a married person to give me that compliment? Or in a work environment?
Well, it's only inappropriate, really, if you don't want the attention, but if you're fine with the attention, then it is fine. I think that's how sexual harassment... Does your work have a sexual harassment training?
No.
Okay, maybe that...
They really should, because sometimes there was a student that was hitting on me, clearly, and I didn't know what to do.
Oh, then...
And then my manager was listening onto the call as it was happening, and she's this is what you need to say, and I'm oh, I did not know this. I kind of thought I was just gonna ignore it and move on, but no, you need to address it.
Mm.
Yeah, so
I feel you would enjoy a sexual harassment training because my work did it, and because I know in pornography and stuff, you like scenarios.
Yes.
And that's all sexual harassment training is.
Yeah.
It's all like the female
Ooh.
boss being like, Kyle, why don't we go to dinner and talk about your next promotion?
Yeah. Is it weird that I'm turned on by that?
Oh my god. No.
So he names a few people that, like, check me out, and I'm like, oh my god, really? Like, people are checking you out. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't think those people were. So, yeah, like, don't know where a fail is in there. Miles, where's the fail?
I don't know. I like the idea of you corrupting the young person.
Corrupting the young person who has a girlfriend that clearly, like, and the girlfriend probably, like, loves him a lot and, like, is close with his family.
You have to test that relationship, you know?
I do.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's not a fail, but you guys, we recorded on Saturday and last Monday, and now it's Saturday, so it's hard to come up with new failures.
Especially my last one about leaving a tampon in my vagina.
Yeah, how do you top that?
How do you top that?
Well, this week I left a tampon in my vagina. No, okay.
In your butt.
I soaked it with vodka, and I was drunk that way.
I've kind of always wanted to try that.
I'd be scared that, like, your, like, liver would just, like, fall out of you or something. Okay, I guess my, like, fail right now is... It's not... I don't know if it's a fail. It's just, like, confusing to me. So,
okay.
I feel like this summer people were all like, Miles, like, you look so good. Like, you're looking so good these days. Like, oh, my God. And I was like, yeah, I never really know what to say. I'm just like... Because people are like, have you been working out a lot? And I'm like, this is awkward attention that I don't know what to do with. And so then I'm like, am I in a moment of time where I'm just like attracting, I don't want to be in my prime because I want that to be when I'm 50.
Okay.
But I feel like I'm just like attracting a lot of attention right now. Mm-hmm. But not from like necessarily people that I could see it like going anywhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but I end up kind of feeling bad because, like, there's, like, people giving me attention, like, whether that's, like, in person or, like, over the phone, like, texting or, like, on social media. I'm getting this attention, and, like, I feel bad because, like, I'm not giving it back.
Oh.
Like, people are hitting me up, reaching out to me, talking to me. How are you? How's your day? How's it going? And I'm not reaching out to anyone with those questions because I'm like, I'm just like feel like I'm being like pursued, but I feel like awkward because it's not
reciprocated.
I'm not reciprocating it, so I feel like an asshole. But like, I don't really want to know what to do.
I mean, it's not your responsibility about their feelings.
I mean, I could shut it all down, but I don't really. But it's also harmless. I'm like, why?
Are you annoyed by these people?
No, I don't want to go into too much detail. I mean, there's one that I just, like, do not understand. And then there's, like, another one that I'm, like, it's, like, fine. Like,
okay.
So, it's, like, it's just, I don't know. It's, just like, an awkward position.
This is how I view that shit, okay? Like, hey, because sooner or later, this attention will not be around.
I kind of don't want it to be around anymore.
Yes, you do. You would miss it if it wasn't around.
No, because it's like, it's just like, hey, how's your day? Hey, how's your night? Hey, how's the work week? Hey, how's your weekend? It's just that.
I love feeling wanted.
But we're not friends. It'd be different if you were texting me, then I'd be like, oh, Marika wants to know who I am. Like, oh my God, Marika, joke. Like, what's this? Like,
wait,
that's
more often.
That's like more real.
Yeah.
This is like, just feels like weirdly like I'm just being polite.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I don't fucking understand what this is right now.
I know. I don't know either. I don't know. I like attention. I'm attention whore. I like it.
I'm not. I'm pretty, like, secure. I don't need it.
I mean, it's not like I need it, but I do like it because I feel like I'm going to be fucking old as shit. My boobs are going to go down to, like, my fucking elbows.
Right.
And
I think I'd like this attention if it were less polite. Like, I'd like it if they're like, oh my God, you're so fucking hot. Like, I just saw that picture of you on Facebook and like, holy fuck. I would be like, yes. Like, that to me is like sexy. But if it's just like, how's your day? How's your week? I'm like,
would you talk to somebody like that though?
Me?
Yeah.
I have before.
Okay, like, yeah, wait, you have.
Yeah. I've definitely messaged, like, people that were just strangers to me, like, or had a random mutual friend on Facebook and been like, you are really good looking, like, holy fuck. Like, I've done that to, like, strangers. And then ended up talking back and forth with them.
Oh.
So, like, that stuff is, like, sexy fun. But this is just, like, feels so, like, humdrum, and I'm just, like, I feel like a dick because I'm not, like, caring about them as much as they're caring about me. That's why I'm like, I need a fucking boyfriend and just shut all this shit down.
Oh my god, it's cupping season, so...
Cuffing,
right.
Cupping.
I don't know. Cuffing.
You guys, if you don't know cuffing is like when it gets like cold out and you need like a snuggle buddy. Well, I reactivated my Tinder today.
Oh,
I was like, I gotta get on the prowl. I gotta look around and be like, how hot are people? Oh yeah, I forgot. They're so hot. Let's go. Speaking of sexual, our topic has nothing to do with that. Our topic, Marika, what's our topic?
It is, I don't know how to be woke.
Yeah, you guys, what's woke mean? What does woke mean, Marika?
I woke up. I don't know.
I think woke means, woke to me feels like a very liberal term, and it's like you know what's going on liberal issue-wise. And by liberal issue, I mean, like, race stuff, like, queer shit, like, you know about, like, the struggles of, like, the minorities, you know about, like, poor people, like, you're woke to, like, the plight of the people.
Ooh, the plight of the people. Ooh, I love that.
Which is probably impossible to be woke to all of it. I mean, there's always some stuff we're not gonna know, like, but... Even if it's impossible to be woke, in the age of Facebook rage, we have to try.
And Insta. And
we have to try, because it's just everywhere now.
It really is, and I feel like I'm not. I try to be woke, especially with the political stuff that's going on. Oh, God. NPR, thank you so much.
I feel like I listen to NPR, like, every morning, and still I'm just like, what's happening?
Really?
Yeah, like we go to like trivia and they have the current events category, which my friend Michael like is so good at, and it's just all like current events questions, and I'm like, I don't know.
Really?
They're just like, who just got like fired from the Trump's cabinet, and I'm like, I don't know, Scalia, and they're like, that's a Supreme Court justice that died. I'm like, I can't keep the names straight.
I know. There's a lot of like Jeff Sessions and blah, like what? Yeah. I can't keep it straight at all.
No.
But I've been kind of on top of the Judge Kavanaugh, whatever, trials. Trying to be on top of this thing. I did try to call Dick Durbin. Of course, the office was closed, and I knew the office would be closed, but I thought I could leave a message saying, like, don't vote for this fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Nope. There's no voicemail. It's,
like, really awkward when you call your representatives. Awkward. You have to talk to their fucking aide, and they're like, okay, what do you want to tell me? And I'm like, I don't know the format of, like, I called once because, like...
Please don't vote for Judge Kavanaugh.
Well, I called once because every once in a while, they threaten to get rid of AmeriCorps, which is, like, the program I did, and it's supposed to be nonpartisan, but, like, sometimes Republicans try to get rid of it. So I, like, called, and they were like, okay, what do you want to say? And I was like, I guess I have to give this, like, weird speech about AmeriCorps
right that's why I don't call, because I feel like I have to give a weird speech and the reasons why. But then, you know what?
Isn't that what we were trained to do in high school?
But honestly, I don't think so, because they probably listen to a lot of these phone calls a day, and they probably don't want to hear it, and they probably understand why you don't want to.
They're probably just like, that's another person that cares about AmeriCorps, check.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it doesn't, I feel like, matter the reasons. They just, like, I voted for you in office for you to be my voice in Washington, so I'm calling you to do what I fucking say. I pay for your health care, your retirement, your salary, all that shit. Your kids' college fund. Fuck you. Yeah. That's why, like, when McCain died, I was like, why is everyone so heartbroken over this guy? Like, all these celebs who are clearly Democratic and liberals, they were like, oh, like, he was a true politician, yada, yada.
But McCain is still, like...
Yeah.
I see, but again, I don't know enough about fucking McCain. I just know that, like, he has a good reputation.
Okay, so I just remember him voting against public health care, Obamacare.
I mean,
okay,
yeah.
He was basically dying. Okay? He's dying, and I'm the one paying for his chemo. Yeah. Did you think about that? Nope.
Well, he's dead now, so I hope you're happy. Like, I don't know what you want.
Well, I mean, the chance of survival from sarcoma is, like, pretty low. Anyways,
So how are you, like, failing? How are we failing to be
woke?
I think about Black Lives Matter, okay?
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, they did so many different demonstrations, all this stuff in Chicago. I, like, never really understood. I was, like, trying to follow them on Twitter or something, but, like, I never went to any of their demonstrations.
Yeah.
Ever. And I felt bad about it. Because I was like, this is a fucking cool movement and it's super important. And I remember, like, there was something, I think it was, like, in Chicago, or maybe it was another city where they had, like, clashed with the police. And, like, my mom came to town, and she was like, we can't go downtown because of what's happened there. And I was like, so my mom and I have never talked about Black Lives Matter, and the only time we're ever referencing something related to it is because, like, she's afraid of it. But then the Women's March rolls around. Everyone's talking about the Women's March. My mom's like, are you doing the Women's March? And I was like, this is fucked up right now.
Right, it is, because there's, like, a shit ton of people that went to the Women's March.
Yeah, and I was like, but there was none of this energy around Black Lives Matter. But then I felt bad because I was like, Miles, you didn't fucking do anything. You didn't do anything.
I went to the Women's March, and I didn't do Black Lives Matter March.
Yeah.
I feel like, was Black Lives Matter, like, on a weekday?
They did a ton of different demonstrations. I mean, they were, like,
Yeah,
they did a ton of different ones.
I've been to, like, Occupy Wall Street, whatever one.
It's just, like, I don't know, it's hard. It was, like, that one was, like, hard to pin down. I donated to the Dakota Access Pipeline, and I followed that on Facebook.
Oh, I know. I donated for the Flint, Michigan water. I know I did that, like, for them when that was first happening.
There's so many issues.
So, like, what was the question again?
When are you, like, failing to be woke?
Oh, I
just feel like you're constantly.
All the time. Like, Black Lives Matter. Like, I feel like I'm failing because I don't have enough diversity in my life. Like, I don't really have a lot of black friends, and I feel like I maybe should, I don't know. So I try to watch, like, Insecure, or I do watch Insecure, and I feel like I'm contributing in some fashion, even though, like, I'm not, and even though I'm, like, I put on the captions, and I, like, wouldn't catch, like, their catchphrases and, like, use them, and I'm like, am I allowed to do that? Like, I don't even know.
Have you seen that t-shirt?
What t-shirt?
There's this t-shirt that just says, white women stealing from gay men, stealing from black women. This is how the slang works.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it's so fucking hard, because it's like, it is weird. I definitely do feel my, like, whiteness when, like, you go to, like, a party or, like, a friend's thing and everyone's white and you're like, wait, why? But then, and there's been times in my life where I've had a black friend.
Yeah.
I've dated black guys. And then there's other times where I don't have a black friend and I'm not dating a black guy. Or, you know. So it's just, or I'm not dating a black girl because I'm gay.
Right.
So it just fluctuates. You know, there's times
Yeah.
where there have been times where I've had almost no gay friends, and there's times where I have almost all gay friends. So it's like all of that diversity just constantly fluctuating because people are moving and people are, you're meeting new people at work, and so I feel like you can't be too hard on yourself.
I mean, like, going to the California Clipper for my birthday, I did pay attention of, like, the demographic there, and, like, okay, like, oh, good, there's, like some black people here, like, okay, that's awesome. And then, like okay, there's some, like, Latino people here. That's also awesome. And,
well, Chicago's so segregated that it's, like, it is cool when you see it in nightlife.
Right.
Because even the nightlife can segregate.
But, of course, like, you know, thinking back on it now, because we're going there later tonight, like, majority of the demographic there was white.
Yeah.
Caucasian.
This podcast is sponsored by the California Clipper. At this point.
So, yeah. Like...
But how do you feel about it? Because you're, like, part white and then part Asian.
Like, growing up, it's so weird because when I was younger, I felt different. And people were looking at me like, oh, you're brown.
Yeah.
You're not white. You look different.
Yeah.
You're annoying. So
like your skin color's annoying me.
Yeah, basically, because you like look different, like you don't look like us, like type of thing, like being a girl, whatever. And then as I got into college, people like, you're not as Asian as you think you are. You're white. And I'm like, I really identify with my like Thai heritage.
Yeah.
A lot, because my mom grew up in Thailand, and she was Thai, and her culture is Thai.
And your parents own a Thai restaurant.
So yeah, like even though I don't speak the language very well, like only a little bit, like.
Do you want to like give an example now?
No, I don't. I don't know. Like, I'm like, you're mostly white, Marika. I'm like, oh,
like people told you that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it bothered me, and I'm like,
it's like they have no place to determine your identity.
Oh, I got so mad at Ty when he told me, like, Mary, you're barely Thai. I slammed a door in his face.
That's so shitty.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not as Thai. Obviously, you're 100% Thai, but I am. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
I hate
you. Yeah.
So, and they and they were wondering why I was upset.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Greek people, not in any way as extreme as that, but like Greek people, I do like to figure out your Greekness, which I always just think is hilarious. Like, remember my coworker Maria Fustoliaraki?
Oh my god!
She was like, "You're Greek? How Greek are you?" And she was like, She was like, "Is your mom Greek? Like, who came from Greece? Like, do you go to church? Like, do you speak the language?" Like, she had to run through all the questions. She was like, "Where in Greece?" And I was like, "Stemnitsa, it's in the Peloponnese." And then she was like how I was like, my yaya was full, and so I guess that makes me a quarter, even though that's totally not how DNA works, at all.
No, it's not.
And like she was like, "Do you speak the language?" Blah blah blah. Like it was like a test. And then I remember my mom and I went to this Greek bakery in Chicago, and the woman working there, she is like, "You're Greek? How Greek?" And I was like, "Oh my god, the fucking test again." And then she was like, "Your son looks more Greek than you," like to my mom.
Oh my god.
And I was like, "We didn't ask you." And it's only because my mom plucked her eyebrows into oblivion.
God, I love your eyebrows.
But it is weird that people. It's like
I don't need your opinion. Your son is more Greek than you. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, oh yeah, somehow I like chose how his face would look like.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, yeah, that was my vagina's plan. To just pass the right genes now.
Right genes now. Oh my god. People like are so rude and stupid. Like.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In regards to like the race stuff, though, at my. When I worked at a school, like our school was like, it was a private school. We were like obsessed with diversity. So it was a really rich school I worked at. Yeah. And it is majority white, but like not like I think the sixth grade class when I started was 1/3 minority. So that's pretty good. Yeah. There was a lot of kids that were like half Asian or half Jewish, half Asian or half Jewish, half black or this, that. Because there's a lot of Jewish kids. But it, like, so we had to do all these diversity trainings, which was like very eye-opening for me because I like know and knew I was like white, of course. Yeah. But they definitely tried to like help me or whatever understand my like white identity. It's still confusing to me because I remember talking to my coworker. You have a white identity? Like no, you don't. I remember talking to my coworker Kedra, who's like black, and she's so woke. Like she came from like this progressive school in New York. And she just fucking, like, she was so far ahead of what everyone else was thinking. Like, she just got it. Like, she was like, I want to take middle schoolers to Ethiopia. Like, she was so fucking cool. And she had, like, I think she's just African-American. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But she had lived in Africa. She went and lived in several countries in Africa. And I was like, oh my god, Kedra. She's like, I know. So she was like, I want to take middle schoolers to Ethiopia. And the school was like, no! They're like, it's too dangerous. She's like, why? Because it's Africa. Like, she, like, was so amazing. But I had this training with Kedra, and I was just like, we read this book called Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting Together in the Cafeteria? Okay. And by Dr. Beverly Tatum, and eventually she, like, came in and spoke with us. Cool. She was so fucking cool. Like, she talked about race in a way that, like, the internet wishes they could. Because she would talk about, in her book and in person, she taught this, like, college studies class, and she said, like, when she'd have white students say something that was, like, ignorant or offensive, or something that other person would be like, oh my god, they're racist, she was just like, it's not their fault. She's like, white person that's saying something that to you is dumb, that's how they were raised. That's their entire environment that built that sentence for them. So she's like, how is that their fault? That's what created them.
Right, but where does... Someone has to be at fault, though.
I don't think that's how she looks at it.
But, okay,
She was like, I think that's what she looked at, like, her class was to, like, open people's minds, but she's like, I can't open his mind if other people... So how do you
stop racism without calling it out, though?
I think she... No, I think she would call it out, but she wouldn't be like, you're a racist. That's not gonna help him change.
Yeah, that's true.
She would just be like, okay, this is where you're coming from, and this is the bigger reality, and this is how you've been socially programmed, and, like, I'm getting somewhere, I promise. But I was talking
I like it.
Talking to Kedra, like, we'd read this book, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know how to, like, wrap my head around a white identity. I was like, I definitely understand, like, I understand that I'm, like, Greek and German and our family stories and my stories about my dad's side and, like, them coming to America, and, like, I understand those stories and that's part of my history, but I don't understand how to make, like, whiteness part of my identity. And Kedra was like, I think you're conflating ethnicity with whiteness, which is a racial identity, which has nothing to do with ethnicity. It just deals with how you look and how people see you. People see you and know that you're a white man.
Right.
And that's how they're going to treat you in society. And I was like, okay, let me try to wrap my brain around all this. But definitely, like, those, like, conversations, like, help me understand it more and understand the privilege more and stuff.
Do you feel like you're privileged being white?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everybody, like, that's what I liked about our school stuff, too, because they talked about privilege more than outside of just whiteness. It's like, I'm privileged because I'm white. We're privileged because we're able-bodied. And because we're young. Well, I'm young, because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I'm ancient.
It's like there's so many different kinds of privilege. It's like we're privileged because we can see and hear and walk, and we don't need assistance, and
So I just listened to NPR kind of about how housing used to be defined by, like, race, kind of, in Chicago. Now it's defined mostly by disability. How only 1% of housing in the city is accessible.
Damn, like wheelchair accessible?
Wheelchair accessible.
I mean, it's all stairs in Chicago. Everything is stairs. All stairs.
But, because they obviously had to bring a personal story into it. Like, this one lady, like, she's a W amputee. She has, like, problems with her heart, yada, 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 so she's in a wheelchair. They sent her a letter saying, like, oh, you bring snow into the building, like, and she's like, okay, then let me get some, like, I think they call it, like, trainers or something, or, like, I don't know, she said something. Like,
does she have prosthetic legs or what?
No.
Or a wheelchair?
She has a wheelchair.
Okay.
So, I think she's too old for prosthetic. She has diabetes also, so that's probably why she lost them. Sorry.
She's a fighter.
She is. So they were like, okay, like, now they're like, you're damaging the door. And she's like, well, okay, let me put, like, a plate on the door. It's like, no, they were going to find you.
What the fuck?
So she had to hire a lawyer to fight them. And
it's not up to her to do all this shit. It's up to them.
Yeah, so it's illegal, obviously, to deny someone housing because of their disability.
Yeah.
And, only, like, 1%.
See, that's another thing where I'm like, well, I wasn't woke to that because I never fucking think about that. But now that you said it, I'm thinking about all the apartment entrances, and they're always stairs.
Right, yeah. So in, like,
even for the first floor, it's always like a few stairs.
Oh, yeah, and there's not a ramp. And, like, I'm thinking about, like, my last apartment in Chicago. There was no room for an elevator. That building was old. Like, no. Majority of, like, buildings.
You'd have to live in a big complex.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's like, even I live on the first floor, but I have to go up 6 or 7 steps. Like, you always are going up a half story.
And the ones that are accessible, like those high rises or whatever, they can't afford that without subsidies. Yeah. So it's like a catch-22.
Ew.
Yeah, it was right. Hopefully our new mayor will, like, do something about it.
Are you running?
This is from I'm announcing my campaign. Announcing my nomination. Right. That's how it works. But I'm glad, like, Ron Emanuel's not, like, running anymore.
Yeah, he was. I mean, Rahm was like the glitz and the glamour and the like. Let's do stuff with O'Hare and let's get more like global investment.
That's the people that are voting for him.
He was thinking so high up, and I was like, no, Honey Bear, we gotta like go to like the South and West sides and like invest there.
Like thinking like basically for himself. I feel like a lot of the times and like pouring money into the areas that voted for him, which is like the north side.
Yeah.
Not
but that's why I don't.
South side.
That's why I don't. I live in Chicago, and there's always this weird overhanging thing where I'm like, I want the South and West sides to do better, but I'm not fucking doing anything. That's true. Then I feel shitty about it.
I mean, but...
And I'm like, do I volunteer? Do I go to Black Lives Matter protests? Like, what do I do?
I think just being aware of, like, when you're voting is, like, something that you can do.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So, and then, like, just understanding, like, where the money is going in the city. And it's not going to where it needs to go.
I want to talk about the moving walkway.
Okay, what is
So
that?
Dr. Beverly Tatum, she did not make this up, but she put this in her book. But there's this idea of, like, you know those moving walkways at the airport?
Yeah, I love those.
And this helped me...
Moving walkway.
This helped me think about it, too, because, it was also my coworker, Keidra, like, we had some training where we were talking about, like, racism. She's like, racism isn't the term that I use. I use the term white supremacy. Because... And that really helped me understand it better. She's like, what we're talking about... Because when people talk about racism, there's, like, the textbook definition of racism. It's like, there's been a history of policies that have been race-based that have oppressed non-white people. Right. And Keidra was like, sure, but I just call that white supremacy. To me, that's a way more descriptive title. White supremacy, white supremacy. It's about whites creating a system in America that guarantees their supremacy over everyone else. Oh. That's what racism is. So to me, white supremacy is like a way more clear name. Like,
so what's the walkway then?
Oh, so the moving walkway is this idea that, like, I'm just going to call it white supremacy. White supremacy is like a moving walkway that all white people are on. And you're just standing on it, and it's moving you forward. But all the other people that aren't white are not on this fucking walkway. They're not benefiting from this history of policies. So white people just get to, like, chill on this walkway. So if you are, like, actively a racist, you are walking on the walkway. You're walking on it, and you're moving super fast. But if you're just white person and you're just benefiting from the privilege, you're just standing on it. Okay. And then what the moving walkway thing says you need to do, like a white person, you have to turn around and walk against the moving walkway. You have to dismantle it, basically. And I was like, cool, how? Because I'm not going to those Black Lives Matter protests, so I guess I'm just standing on this fucking thing. But I did give to the Dakota Access Pipeline.
You know what we should also do, though? Go to more black festivals.
That's a good point. I still haven't gone to the Bud Billiken parade. Fuck. Bill Billiken? Bud Billiken? Mm-hmm. I think it's Bud Billiken. It's, like, the biggest, like, black parade in the country, but it's in, like, May, and I, like, try to go to the last 2 years, but I keep, like, one time I didn't have friends to go with me, and the other time I forgot about it.
There was actually, like, a black, I know, like, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but, like, black food festival, like, in the South Side, of, like, all these, like, African-American, like, ethnic foods, and, God, that sounds so good. I know.
When was that festival?
That was a couple weeks ago, I don't know.
Okay, well, it's Chicago, there's, like, 7,000 festivals every week.
Yeah, but, you know, going to the neighborhoods, I feel like, and, like, not offering your money, but, like, shopping.
Just going to Englewood and giving people money? I feel like that's so insulting.
Not offering your money, but, like...
Businesses
and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Chicago's giving them $8 million.
Who?
For grants for local businesses. But that's not... $8 million is
that's
not
anything. A lot.
Because compare they're building that fucking big, like, athletic center or whatever in the South Side, and it's costing, like, millions of dollars. I'm like, why aren't you, like, building another fucking grocery store instead?
I don't know, the athletic center's kind of cool.
It is, but I feel like the community will benefit more from local businesses, like, trying to grow there.
Well, I'm sure they had a lot of
creating jobs.
I'm sure they had a lot of conversations about it, but...
I mean, that athletic center, like, creates jobs temporarily.
No, the people that work at the athletic center. But it's not probably that. They don't probably.
But what events are gonna be like? Where's the revenue coming from?
It's probably like a public. It probably works like a public.
I honestly don't know what it is. I know it's like some type of athlete thing.
I think for me as a frugal person, because like I'm all for them building build that fucking athletic complex. But like I feel like everything that gets built when new stuff gets built, they're like it's a $1 billion complex. It's designed by Santiago Calatrava and like it's like I'm like, can we just fucking build a simple piece of shit and like that works and it's what everyone needs, but it's not like $1 bajillion.
Hire the architecture students from like UIC.
Right. I'm like, let's build a simpler version. Let's build like 17 where we built one. Like let's build 17 instead of one.
Right.
That's fine. But I'm like, that's my mentality. But I guess now that I think about it, like through this conversation.
I'm sorry. The name just kills me.
I'm sure you're familiar.
I
am. I guess like through this conversation, I was like, okay, wait, Miles, you can be woke through your fucking job.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I work in advertising, and I do like advertising is all about like you have to cast people, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to speak to demographics and stuff. And like, I was just talking about at work how last year there was this commercial for BMO Harris Bank where it's like it's a stupid commercial. It's bad. But it's about two gay guys using an ATM. Like, and they're played by actual gay people because they have gay voice.
Okay.
You know, and you guys don't know this.
Y'all know what gay voice
Don't pretend
is.
like you don't know, because you do.
Okay.
But it was the first time I'd ever heard gay voice in an ad in my life. Ever. I'd never heard it. Ads are like, it's like how movies are usually narrated by like movie trailers. Well, movie trailers aren't really narrated anymore, but if they are, it's like by men.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard a movie trailer narrated by a woman, I was like, oh my God. And it felt so different. To have a woman being like, coming this fall. Marika, you say coming this fall.
Coming this fall.
Like, that, right? And like, recently at work, we did some, what's called like, the industry term is scratch VO, but it just means like a rough draft voiceover for a commercial. Okay. So like we haven't gotten the official recording with like our guy yet. So we just had like my coworker who's gay record it.
Okay.
And like the voiceover sounds like a little gay. Like gay, you can tell a gay person saying it. And we were talking about it at work. We were like, oh my God, like what if this was a brand's voice? Because like for this brand, it's like a charcoal brand. So we're always using this like brand that's like, hope y'all are hungry, like, get to grilling. It's like, we hire this, like, black Southside guy, but he speaks, like, slow, and he's like, cause this and this. Like, it's super, like...
Oh my God, is he single?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think he's, like, our age. I haven't met him yet. I didn't get to meet him because I was, like, out of...
You guys, if you didn't know, I'm thirsty and horny, so...
Yeah, we gotta still do that episode. But, like, and that's great, but I was like, I would love if there was, like, a brand, especially if there was, like, a newer brand, like Uber or Snapchat or, like, one of the new ones. I was like, we're gonna use a fucking gay voice for our voiceover.
Yeah.
Like, that would be, to me, woke.
Yeah.
So, I feel like the more I'm in advertising, hopefully the more I will have to, like, give opportunities to stuff that's not as mainstream, mainstream.
So you're gonna break the walls.
We'll see. I don't know.
That's exciting.
So maybe I can do my part by producing commercial. I don't know. I'm always like, does advertising matter? Hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully. You guys, whose face do I have to smooch around here to get some questions?
Guys.
We need questions.
Okay, I know we have at least like 40-something listeners out there. Like, just one of you. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's true, we really only need one question per episode.
Per episode, once a week. So everyone needs to take a fucking turn.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Kyle N., it's your turn.
Bobby.
Lenny G.
Lenny G. Len.
Mark S. It's y'all's turn. Look forward to that next week. But in the meantime, we should talk about our successes of the week.
Successes.
I have one. My success this week... So at work, like, if we ever have to write scripts for anything, it's kind of competitive. Because, like, I'm writing a script. I often have to compete against my own boss who's writing a script. Yeah, who's, like, obviously been being a copywriter for way longer than I have.
Right.
Or my coworkers, like, I've only been copywriter for less than a year, so it's like, I'm always like, oh God.
Yeah.
I guess I'll just try.
Yeah.
But I did sell one in this week. So I was
Nice!
like, holy shit. And it was like this idea, I can't go into it, but it was like this idea that I'd had, and then, we came up with a bunch of ideas.
Yeah.
And then at one point it got thrown out. And then
Your idea got thrown out.
Got thrown out.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay,
Revisited.
but what if it's slightly different? What if we just cast it differently? And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll bring it back in. And then that was that. Eventually, this is the one idea that.
Oh my god! Do you get
like,
more money?
lived.
Do you get commission?
No, but it's good.
For your book or whatever, your brag
It's good for
book
my
or something?
book, and it's just like good experience too. Because now it's like okay, and it's
You're-
ultimately going to be collaborative. Like this was my idea. My boss was like. I had a different ending, and my boss was like, what if we simplify it and the twist is this? So, like, it always becomes collaborative, which is nice. And then I think we're going to be working with, like, a influencer, so they might want to actually... an influencer. So...
have you seen my Instagram stories?
Have I seen your numbers of followers? Yes. So ultimately, the influencer might touch it. We don't know how they want to work. So it always ultimately ends up being collaborative.
So, is it a commercial?
It's gonna be like online video.
Okay.
Yeah. But
That's
it's like,
exciting,
it's
though.
cool. I was like, I actually had like a good idea. Mariko, what's your success?
God, what is my success? I don't know, being sick on my birthday?
That's success?
I don't know.
Did you have a good birthday?
You know what? I actually did. And here is why. A lot of people texted me happy birthday, which I was not expecting. I was expecting more Instagram DMs, more Facebook shit, but a lot of like people that I'm close with in my life and some few surprises actually texted me, and I'm like, oh my god. I don't know, it just means more. My dream waking up that morning was about people like showering me with love and stuff. And I called off work because I was feeling sick. And I watched Harry Potter. And
That's pretty good.
ate sushi and stuff. And then my roommate made me a cake.
Baked it for you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it's from a box, but
Adam.
still. It's Joanna.
I know. I know.
But yeah, like she like went out to the store and she got funfetti and like frosted it and put shit ton of sprinkles on it, and then I've eaten like most of it already.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So pretty good birthday. And then I came to work the next day. People kept saying happy birthday to me. My desk was decorated. Today at work I got another cake.
Oh.
I wasn't expecting it at all.
Oh my god, your 3 jobs are paying off.
Oh my, yeah. Well, Lagunitas, come on, pay up.
Yeah, where's that? Yeah.
Yeah, where's my cake?
They're like, you work twice a month. Who are you?
I know they are. Like, who are you? Yeah. Gonna celebrate with my parents tomorrow. A lot of good birthday this year.
Yeah, it's exciting that you were 21 10 years ago.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I had to. Marika's on the floor.
Oh my god. No. Ah. Oh god, that's awful. Ugh.
Well, you can send us questions at idkpod@gmail.com or on Instagram at
IDK pod.
No.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I always have to edit this together.
I know. What is it?
On Instagram at IDK What I'm Doing Pod.
I never remember it.
And so I don't know. The woman who critiqued our podcast, Megan, said that we can't call you failures.
Why?
I think she thinks that's negative, which it is, but it's like
But
we're
it's
all failures.
All failures.
Like we're all
together.
We're no better than
You.
you guys. So bye.
Bye.
Failures. Tell us if you hate it. Tell us something.
Tell us anything.
Bye.
Bye.